YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Beezy, and it's Salsa with Beezy. And today's video, as you can see by the title, is gonna be the worst tenant that I had as an apartment manager. A lot of you don't know. Yes, I was an apartment manager. We're gonna do a little rundown. So I had 29 units. I had 20 on one property, and then maybe right across the street, not too long, I can walk there within 30 seconds. I had 9 units on that property, right? And my worst tenant lived on the property that had 9 units, not on my property where I was living myself. Man, this dude gave me so much trouble. Let me tell you why he was the worst tenant. And it's gonna be these videos. It's gonna be a series of these videos. So I have more tenants that was pretty bad, but this tenant probably got to be my worst one at number 1, Pablo. So Pablo was a homeless guy. Yes, I said it. Homeless guy who lived in the 9 units. The 9 units that were across the street from my units were vacant. They didn't have like water supplies. They didn't have gas supplies. Some of them didn't even have proper kitchens, honestly. It was a big mess. When I got my 20 properties, my boss told me, you have another 9 properties across the street. So I'm like, oh, okay. I go over there one day. Not one day. I go over there the first day I get into my apartment, so I go over there. It was 3 apartments on one side and then 5 on the other. The 5, those seemed cool. But when I went over there the first day, I seen 3 apartments. They seemed like they was having some action going on in them. I seen ACs. And then the one Pablo stayed there, he had an AC in there. I'm like, wait, 2 of them got ACs. And then I seen the door open and one of them, I'm like, what's going on over here? What they got me into, right? And we gonna go over everything else, how I got the job, this and that, whoop-de-whoop. But this video is gonna be about my worst tenant, Pablo. Pablo was a homeless guy who lived in the units, and I didn't know that the guy that was fixing on those 9 units, he would like come over every other day, do some maintenance, fix some things, trying to get these 9 units to meet code, to code inspection. They didn't you couldn't live in those. They didn't even have AC in them, and it was the summer. So the guy that was working on them told Pablo that he can live in them, and I didn't know this. I didn't know this probably until like the first week. Like then somebody told me like, oh yeah, Pablo said. I'm like, wait, hold on. I'm lying to you. It was the first week. But nobody brung this up to me that it was a guy living there. And I didn't know like what he was doing there, who he was. I finally met him like a weekend, I told him, I'm like, hey man, you gotta be watching these properties over here because it's a lot of going on. Mind you, the guy that's working on the property, he told Pablo that he can stay there so he can be security, which I didn't know. So I'm like, when I finally met him, I'm like, okay. So since they said you can live here, I'm not going to be and make you leave because I'm a nice person. I let him stay. I shouldn't have let him stay. That was my mistake on my part, right? So Pablo, he had me going through so many problems. When I used to go over there, Pablo, he had dogs living, right? He had dogs with him. And one day I seen a pit bull. I'm like, oh, that's a big dog. And I was like going through the apartments, making sure everything good, going through every door. And I stayed in that unit when I seen it because I was finna come out and I seen the dog. I'm like, oh, whoa, what the heck? So I went to the window and kind of looked and seen the dog. He was just chilling. And I'm like, dang, I can't stay in here. I can't stay in here all day, man, because it was getting hot. So I'm like, I gotta go face my fears and just go out there. And then I go out. And then I see Pablo instantly. I seen him. I'm like, hey man, who dog is that? He was like, oh, that's my dog. He like, oh, he tried to, scare you. I'm like, no, he just, scared me, man. What? So I know he had a dog. I'm like, what the heck? Who dog is this? And he had another dog too. That was like a German Shepherd. It was a baby too. One day I was over there looking at some units, and the little dog came out. I'm like, who dog is this? I'm about to take this dog. But then it went back to his unit because I let Pablo stay there probably until like 3 or 4 months. When I stopped working as an apartment manager, he had stayed there. Not months, but weeks. 3 or 4 weeks after, I stopped working there. That's when, I told him he had to go because he was on his last straw. Man, Pablo, he would have so many people over there, bro. Like some days I would go over there and it would just be jumping. Not just in his apartment. Like he had people in the 3 units. And it low-key was some people in this laundry room. I'm gonna put the picture up. This the laundry room that he had the people in. It didn't look this clean when I was there until I was like getting told that I had to clean it out. So I cleaned it out, and that's how I made it look. Man, I walked over there one time and somebody had like a towel on the laundry room door. I'm like, what's going on over there? Because the laundry room, honestly, somebody was probably staying in there for a very, very long time. But I just didn't know because I was like a little afraid. Because Pablo used to have another dog. He had a couple dogs. He had like 3 dogs. He had another dog that used to stay in the laundry room. And he told me like, hey, it's a dog in there. That's my dog. I'm like, what? Come to find out, that wasn't his dog. It was somebody in there with a dog. So I used to be like, oh, okay. One day I seen it open and I see somebody in there. I'm like, hey, who in there? Come out. I made him come out. I'm like, who in there? What the heck? But I didn't see the dog. I just seen somebody walking up in there. I'm like, who up in there? Pablo? Man, Pablo, man, he used to be over there arguing with his girl. I remember like one of the very last times the police had went over there, it was like 4 cars over there. And I'm like getting calls like, hey, it's the police at your units, because it was another manager that lived right next to the 9 units that I managed. Okay, and let me tell y'all, the 9 units, the reason that they weren't in shape is because they got let on fire. The homeless let them on fire, guys. I don't want to blame it on Pablo because I didn't know who was there. He was probably there when it happened. But those apartments got caught on fire, so they had to replace a lot of things. That's why they were vacant. But they were still mine. I was, I had to go over there and make sure no homeless were over there because they had a bad problem with that over there. And Pablo had all these cars over there. But nah, they were like, what's going on? I'm like, no, these are my apartments. Right? And they used to kick him out. But somehow he ended up back in there all the time. But I didn't trip on Pablo because he was cool people. When I see somebody going through something, I'm not going to really like, try to be too hard on them because, we all got to live, right? Which I should have never did, right? Because Pablo wasn't doing his job as the security man that he was supposed to be watching these units. Right. And I remember one day, because Pablo used to start stuff too, because I remember a guy, I'm like, I asked the guy, did he know where Pablo was? And he kind of got irritated. He was like trying to get up on me, and I'm like, nah, bro, like I know Pablo, I'm the manager here, and it changed his whole attitude. He's like, oh, you're the manager. Oh, he's like, yeah, because Pablo be giving me a hard time. Whoop-de-whoop, this and that, right? And I think he made somebody mad because one day I went over there, I walk in the door, and I just step on water. As soon as I walked through the door, splash. I'm like, what? And it was light too. It wasn't too much. And I'm like, where is this water coming from? And then I was walked in, I heard the water running. I'm like, oh no, somebody trying to flood it? I'm like, bruh. And every time something would be going on like that, for that instance, I remember one time I walked in the back of some units and I seen a couple, like somebody had a setup back there. And I'm like, what's going on? I used to go ask Pablo. I'm like, hey, who been over here? You been doing your job? Like, I used to get on his head too. I'm like, bro, what you not doing your job, bro. You got people over here vandalizing the stuff. You supposed to be helping me out. Right? I used to go to his unit, man. I went straight to his unit. I'm like, hey, who got this water over here running? You know they finna flood it, right? Man, he like, I don't know. He never knew, man. He had too many things going on over there for me, man. And then the last thing he put me through, that was like a major thing for me. Somebody would break the window. They did it twice. And I had did some investigating. I had seen somebody one day when I was over there after it got broken. I'm like looking around, peeping around, like what they really got going on over here. And I checked this guy. I'm like, hey, you broke this window, bro? Like, I just went up to him. I'm like, hey, you broke this window? Because why you looking over here like that? Right. He's like, no, bro. No, this and that. Pablo has some people. I'm like, Pablo. As soon as he said that, it just had something in my brain. Ding. He said, yeah, he has some people over here. They was arguing and this and that. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bruh. Come on, Pablito. Like, man, he had me running over there when I'm chilling in my unit, just relaxing, watching my show. I get a call from the person next door. Pablo over here fighting. I'm like, come on, not right now, Pablito. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of these series coming your way. I got another, probably, I want to say two more of these, the worst tenant. I got, let me see, what can I say? I got some more videos in store from when I was an apartment manager, and there gonna be some pictures uploaded. I wish I still had the videos. I don't know why I didn't save the videos, but something with my hard drive, I think I deleted them on accident. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure you press that subscribe so you always know when I drop a video. Comment a video or idea y'all want me to make. Like, and throw a rock at me like Lil Wack would say if you see me. Holla at your boy. Deuces. BZ is out.